There we go. Got to turn the audio back on, right? Had the audio on during the music, was causing the echo, and I shut it off, and then forgot to turn it back on. So what we're famous about? Desert Garden. So I got one thing we're gonna do first, and because I did mention it before, and we'll go ahead and not follow the rules, which is always fun. And make sure that Nightbot thing is working. So before we even get into that stuff. Oh, the HAS.io. Yeah, that was cool. The State of the Union. And the guy I forgot his name was their new PR guy. And forgive me if you know what his name is. He spent a lot of time going through all of that. No luck, regular. Okay. Check your bit rate. We should be. Oh, video output is low. I'm showing. I don't know if I restart it. Yeah, I wonder if we should restart it for some reason. Because I haven't changed any of the settings. I wonder if did Doc give me his settings virus or something, where his bit rate and stuff was down. Yeah, it's showing that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Some will experience buffering. We'll give it a second here and see what happens. If not, we may start it and start back. It's still showing red. I don't see, it's still showing red on my screen here. Yeah, we'll blame Doc, right? He's not in here probably, right? See, it's still showing red. That's not good. We're only showing. I mean, it shows everything here. It's got to be a YouTube thing. Okay, well, if y'all say it's looking good, this is what kind of the startup is. Because this is what I'm seeing right here on the actual stream, on actually Streamlabs. So, Jim, try to change your. I have seen that happen before, and I was still showing red for some reason. So try to change your bandwidth. I've seen it toggle down at times when it had issues, and then I've had to toggle it back up. And it's really going to drive me nuts because I'm still seeing it red over there. So. Well, I'll leave that down there so I can kind of see the drop frames. That's so weird. It's still showing red over there on the YouTube side. Okay, Jim, that's good. Okay, so problem averted. Hopefully, right? That's what all the fun part is. So, what I was talking about breaking the rules is I got this camera system that was they wanted to do a video on it, and it was an Anran cam system. It had 4 cameras and 1 terabyte NVR with it. And I said, well, look, go ahead. If you want to send it, we can send it. We can show it on a live stream. Maybe go through it real quick and take a look at it. And then I really don't have a need for 4 camera NVR because I have Blue Iris and several different other cameras. So I figured they'll just send it to me. We'll go through it. I'll give it away on the live stream and I'll ship it out. Now, I really can't afford to ship the camera to a lot of international places. So if you aren't in the U.S., well, I don't know, maybe we can work something out. Maybe we can try to go halvesies on shipping or something like that. I don't know. So, depending on how much it is. So it does come with, I should shut my mouth here and turn on the desk with my, and make myself smaller and get me out the way. So it does come with this. There is one. I just have one camera hooked up to it right now. I didn't pull all four of them out of the box. They are. It does say mega. It just says megapixel IP. I think they're like 2 megapixel. Trying to lip read, and so I just made it smaller, right? And now. That's weird. It did drop down to 1440p on my other, I mean 144p. I mean, yeah. So they are, looks like they're metal cameras. They got IRs. It is PoE, because that was one of the things I did say. I'll make myself a little bit bigger for you, Wayne. If anybody wants to do it, holler if I get in the way of stuff. There's 4 of these cameras, and they do have, looks like it's like a flat Ethernet cable that comes with it. And there's like 2 different sizes. There's like 2 shorter sizes and then 2 longer sizes. I'm sure if we look at the description, it'd show everything that's in there. Yeah, I have not taken that. I'm not going to take the hammer to this. I wanted to on something else last night at my son's house, and we kept having issues with another DVR. Kept having just password issues, and that was all we were having issues with, which was crazy because we changed the password in the DVR, and it must have set it in the 2 of the cameras, and the 2 cameras that we plugged in after. It was just a mess, but it had been a long day anyway. So the only thing, of course, a lot of these cameras, I'm trying to pull up the you do have to use if you want to use the GUI on it, and I'm gonna flip to the desk. So I guess before I flip to the desk, it does have, there's some front buttons on it. There's the power, looks like cameras hooked up, and then network, and you've got your left and right, the infrared. It says in the box it supports OnVIF and RTSP. I have not been, I dug around a little bit. I did not find the RTSP URL to it. Maybe whoever gets them can find it. I'm sure there happens to be one. I just didn't find it. I did not hook up. Maybe it'd been more if I hooked up the, I don't know if you can see on the back without me unplugging it. There's the 4 PoE jacks, and then there's the LAN jack on the back. It does have a VGA, and it does have an HDMI, and then 2 USB off to the side. And it's supposed to be a speaker on the back. So, like I said, it does have a 1 terabyte drive in it. So the GUI is kind of weird. Let's see. Let me pull up the GUI here and go back to, and I'll get the GUI, this Internet Explorer. Like I say, the one thing I didn't like about, which I've said that before in other cameras, yeah, you can hook up I guess you could hook up a keyboard. It does come with a mouse, and I think it does with the IR remote. I'm assuming they're probably running some sort of Linux build on it. Yeah, you didn't, the really good stuff's going to be after. So let's see if I just plugged this back in. It should be plugged in. It's almost over. That's it. We're still on the thing. And how did I had one camera working in here. I'm not sure why it's showing. We'll just maybe reboot it and see what happens. Wayne with sound issues. Okay, no, not a problem, Will. So you do have to use like a little, there's like an IE plugin you have to use on there. I really don't like that because I don't like to install this weird software. No, the hammer is out in the shop. We won't be doing the hammer. Yeah. I gotta give it away to somebody, you know, 'cause maybe they can deal with it. And if they want to take a hammer to it and do whatever, or if they don't like it, they want to give it away to somebody else, or that, hey, that's great. So, I just thought it'd be cool that whenever we, here it goes. Looks like, well, how do you get this screen off of here? Maybe we'll reset. This is why I don't like the IE stuff. It always seems like it's issues. Important. What are we wanting to watch? Well, I don't know why I cannot get the other camera to come up. Hey, we got green now showing on YouTube that they're getting enough data from me. Yeah, which is weird now. I got an issue with the camera not showing up. So this was kind of going through the system. You had like general, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff in here. And there was when you went in the network, I didn't get this part of it. When you went into, was it net service? And you had all these protocols and stuff, but you'd click RTSP and hit OK. And it would just say save configuration to device successful. And I'm not sure, it seemed like it was supposed to show you like what the RTSP stuff is supposed to be doing. Trying to find where we can see. I had that where it showed the cameras. Yeah, and they're supposed to be showing the cameras, and it shows 5 megapixel. I didn't know what exact. I played around with this a little bit, just enough to get kind of one camera going, but of course I can't get the other camera going for some odd reason. Which is really strange to me. I did not try to plug in the cameras straight. A lot of the DVRs that I've dealt with is once they kind of like work like a firewall where they have their own DHCP, and so you'll plug that in. That DVR will get one IP, and then whatever cameras you plug into the PoE switch on them, then they'll get their own IP that's actually kind of like almost like doing a router behind a router type configuration where you can't see those cameras directly. It's not like a pass through, so it's more like a firewall type on those. So yeah, I know with the Amcrest, that's some of the Amcrest is like that. So I'm not going to spend any more time trying to get the camera. I had it working on there, trying to get the camera going on it, but maybe it needs to be reset for the camera. But it did work the first time, and I plugged it in. But I've had it sitting here, and I had it unplugged from the network. Yeah, it does a private network, and the cameras just came right up when I plugged it in. But so. Instead of making everybody sit through the entire live stream, we'll go ahead and we'll do the Nightbot thing. Now remember, like I said, I can't afford to send this everywhere, so maybe we'll figure out something to copyright 212. Oh, where'd you see that at? Copyright. Oh yeah, it's got copyright at the bottom. Yeah, I saw that before. Now, I didn't know, did it have 2012 or did it have 212? So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea if you mess with it. Is to whoever would get it is a lot of times some stuff like that I'll block from the network and then access through something else. But it's kind of your choice on that, or put on a little private network or whatever. So now where'd my Nightbot thing go again? Because we're gonna do whoever wants this camera thing. What megapixels? Let's go ahead and look at it right quick. It was the Anran. Let's see. I had the link here actually. Can it be? I have not. I don't know if it can. So looks like it's 2 megapixels. So it's just going to be 1080p. I know we just say just 1080p, but so looks like, yeah, just that's the same back I was showing you guys. They don't show everything that's included in here, but it does come with like an IR remote and a mouse. Yeah, here it goes. There's 2 100 feet cables, 2 50s, a USB mouse, the power supply, the camera, and then the pre-installed 1 terabyte hard drive. So, there you go. Now, let's get past this. And where's my window? Don't start singing, we'll get a copyright, right? But probably not with my singing. I missed that comment. Oh, yeah, the mouse, that typically comes with DVRs, and a lot of the hardware, DVRs, NVRs, even the old analog ones, they all typically came with some little cheap little mouse. And that was for controlling that onboard GUI. Because it's meant to be like, you've probably seen some of the onboard GUIs where at like different gas stations and stuff in different businesses that'll have like a screen up, and they'll have like you can do like one big screen and then do like a bunch of little small ones, and it shows all the cameras live at once. That's typically what you can do with the hardware NVRs, and you can hook them up through VGA, or on this one VGA, or HDMI. So yes, the real links. Let me do this giveaway, and we'll hit your thing up, Bob, first. So I know everybody's like, shut up, do the giveaway. So I think I have everything right, and we've got it is based off if you have chatted in the last 15 minutes. So if you do want to do in there, say something stupid, say somebody's cool or whatever, I don't care. And you'll get entered into the giveaway. But just remember, if you're sorry, I'm bumping the camera. If you're international, we have to figure out something with the shipping. I can't go a huge amount in the hole for shipping this to the, halfway across the world or something like that. So we'll figure out something. So we got 29. Yeah, we're going to give away now. Like I say, I don't always follow the rules on stuff. You would think, hey, let me just go ahead and tease it and then give it to the end. And then, but, I'm not have to worry you where you have to sit all the way through this and then wait to the end, etc. So, yeah, and then we'll get to the cool stuff for the TuyaConvert and all that. So, yeah. It does. And if you are asking if you are international, and you do want to go the power supply. I'm giving people time to put their 2 cents in. The power supply is your standard, like you'll see on a computer power supply or a computer monitor, the little 3-prong. So you could switch out the cord to whatever receptacle you need. And it does say 100 to 240 volts, 50/60 hertz. So it seems like it should fit everybody on this. It's a switching power supply, and you can switch out the cord. So, all right, yeah. If you don't want it, just let me know when we do it. So we got 33 in here. If I can find the screen, and we'll go ahead and fire it off. What was my 2.2 cents? Probably just saying random stuff, right? Yeah. So here we go. 1001, 1002, 1003, and there we go. Who we got? Oh, I think old curmudgeon. I think he said, who was that? Was that you saying to? And Victor. Who said they would defer it? I think you. Oh, you actually said you would defer it, right? So tell me what you want to do. Put it in the chat so it's documented. Everybody sees it. If you don't want it, I can just hit it again. So you let me know. Yeah. So you do want to re-roll it and give everybody else a chance? I just want to make, yeah, okay, roll it again, give it to somebody else. Got you. Okay. So we've got 29 in there. I don't know who fell out. I'm going to scroll down through the list right quick. If you don't see your name, make sure you do say something. It is set on the past 15 minutes. So I'm slowly rolling through it. So, no, it's not too late. Your RL Owens is now in it. I'm going to scroll back up the list, and then we'll hit it. And boom. So it looks like Wayne actually got it, and he probably can't hear me. So he's, I know he had some speaker issues. So congratulations, Wayne Wrigley. Send me your name and stuff on, or Tollbringer probably has it as well. It's just so I know it's exactly you. That would send me that stuff in Discord. So, and if you do want the Discord link, chat said long before. There you go. Yeah, the chat does. Because of the delay, even though I do have it on ultra low latency, the Nightbot's going to pop it into the chat pretty quick. So cool on the giveaway thing. I do try to do that from time to time. If someone, we get random stuff at times, and if they want to do a giveaway and a little thing on a live stream, and I'll put it in the description. I'd rather you guys, if y'all want that stuff, hey, instead of me turning it down, and gives it a little exposure. So kind of win-win situation, right? So pretty simple stuff. So I just got to pay shipping to Wayne. So I'll try to find Wayne later, right? So back down to, let me move this out the way. So hold on one second. We don't need this anymore. I don't need to tear up Wayne's stuff. Maybe Wayne will be back by this time. So I want to show something cool. All right. Oh, look, it disconnected. Yep, sure enough it did. And we'll close it all out. And hopefully that'll close out as well. Damn, you lost internet. Bet I had it not said anything, Nightbot wouldn't have picked you. I think that kind of happened last time. Someone had just jumped in, so we're still doing good on performance. Nope, yep, no drop frames, good to go. So in TuyaConvert, I saw some commits, and these are not in the production master of TuyaConvert. And I want to show you something cool. Is now that I don't know when Colin is going to bring it forward into the full master build of TuyaConvert. Is the now you can just take your bin files, whether they're your own bin files or ESP home, etc. You can throw all those bin files in the files folder. Like I say, this is upcoming. The files folder of TuyaConvert, and I went blank there for a second. And once you do that, and you go through and do the TuyaConvert process, it's, if you'll notice, now it's going to give you a menu of available options. And all I did is I have a bin called latest-mine, and I throw it on a little web server, and that's how I do my own OTA just locally. And it does have a lot of my options and stuff I like, along with my Wi-Fi burned in. And so I just threw that bin in that files folder, and boom, it pops up in the files list. And you just hit 2 and it sends it over. No, I have not even seen those 3-way dimmer switches. The only 3-way dimmer, I know there's like a, I'm trying to remember, it's like Top Greener or something like that. I tried that one, and I'm trying to remember. There was Bob. I think it was a Bob. I don't know if Bob's still here. I didn't want to forget your Reolink camera question. So if you're still here, hit me up again. No, I haven't tried the 3-way dimmer on that one. I haven't even seen that one. The only 3-way dimmer I did was that Martin Jerry 3-way dimmer, and I love Martin Jerry's other stuff, but it was horrible. So there's Wayne. There you go. Wayne, send me something on Discord, so I can get your exact name, and we'll ship it out to you. I'll pack it up and box it out to you and send it out this week, definitely. So, and I didn't. So with the bin file, so we're gonna go ahead and do one here. If y'all want to do one and see one, I have my trusty Martin Jerry switch. We'll add this in. There we go. So the camera's far away, but y'all should be able to see, right? Let's see. I'm juggling arms, mic arms to light camera arms, etc. So yeah, Bob, while I play with the camera and I talk, the Reolinks are really, they're just they're not too bad. I would say that they're really good. The price you pay for them is just absolutely phenomenal. And I'll make sure the focus is set right on this thing. Let's see. Reolink. And if y'all remind me, I'll show you something cool on a Reolink. I'll give you a little sneak peek on something. So like the Reolinks, I prefer kind of these. It's almost like a turret style, but it doesn't have the drawbacks I find the turret style. And they do have, now if you do like, this is purely cosmetic. If you do like the bullet style, they do have the bullet style of these. And pretty much these cameras, I'm sure it's the same exact guts inside as the turret. I like these because they're a little less obtrusive, and I mount them to the bottom of the like under a eave or something like that, and it's there. You could if you watch for them, and I do post in like hot deals and stuff on Discord server. I've even seen them as low as they were doing like a 2-pack, which made them for like $37 a piece, and that's killer for a 5-megapixel camera. You can do an SD card inside of it, where if you really want to, you could store your video on a micro SD card in the camera itself. Plus, you could do something RTSP or view it another way and store it somewhere else. I think they even have a cloud option if you want to pay for the cloud option to storage. So there's a lot of options for storage, and you can do concurrent storage. And it's 5-megapixel, and they're really decent quality. And like I say, I'll show y'all one in a little bit here, if you want. The only drawback I'll say is just some of you can't tweak a whole lot of things. But given it is a $40, $45 camera, you can't like turn the IR down to 50%. It's either IR on or IR off. We'll see, like if you buy some of the Amcrest stuff that's like double the price, well, you can turn the IR down and not off. So, yeah, I the the glass dome ones I've tried before in different camera brands, and you get those weird reflections sometimes with different lighting, and it kind of drives you nuts. So I don't get that with these type of turrets. So now I think what Jim was talking about is probably still hands down one of my favorite is this camera here. Now I don't have Prime on this account, but a lot of times it was showing for like last week or two. It was showing they had like a $20 coupon on this guy, and that's that I like this. I really like this Amcrest. I'll get that out the way. It's a 4K. You don't have to run it 4K if your system won't support 4K. You can bump it down. It's a wider angle lens, given it's 2.8 millimeters. You can put a micro SD card in it. It's a really cool camera. It has a lot of features to it. I did a video review back on that. So yeah, but of course it's truly like you get what you pay for, because you're like, hey, I've got, a 5 megapixel that's like around 45. You can get this one sometimes for around $100, 110, depending on the coupons and deals they have. And this one does a little better quality and has a little better options. So, but still nuts. I mean, several years ago, even 2 or 3 years ago, I remember paying $150, $200 for a decent 1080p camera. And so now, I mean, you can get a 4K 8 megapixel camera for, right at a little over $100. Or even with the Real Links, get them like 45. It's nuts. I've run about 4 or 5 of them. So long, again, like I was saying, Jim, my babbling. So when you put this on, the people playing later can put it in 2x and fast forward and make me sound like Mickey Mouse. So back on over to the TuyaConvert. So if y'all want to bring up cameras again, let me know and we'll do that at the end, because I'll show you a pretty cool camera that I have installed and I'm probably doing a little short video on. So hopefully it's short. So this is my test. I've flashed this thing so many times. I backed it up using serial before I even touched it, and it was the old blocked Tuya before TuyaConvert 2.0 came out. And you can see I just pushed it. This is the one I kind of used in my solderless video, and I just pushed the pins into it and then connect it using a little CH340G flasher for USB, just to kind of give you. So right now it does have the stock Tuya firmware on it. So, and Bob, if you do, I did a video on the Real Links. If you look back in my I did on the Real Link, and I did it on those Amcrests. If you scroll back through and look through my video list, you can find those. You want to see some more information on them. And use the WLED. Yeah, you could. Wait, well, hang on. I don't know. Y'all will have to tell me. I've only flashed WLED once on one Node MCU playing with some lights that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up by the time, but we'll see. Is the bin file less than 512K? That's the thing. Because you can see on my screen right here, you have to do a bin that's a maximum size. And I tell you, I would probably go below that just to be sure. So you could try to put, you could just try if it's a smaller bin with WLED. I just don't know the sizes. So the Nova Stella, yes, I'm actually using a Nova Stella. I wish there's definitely I need a third webcam. I'm actually using a Nova right there. And this is a Nova Stella bulb lighting up my hand right here. So, yeah, that's a good, they say don't flash minimal first. I was trying to remember what that was about. But I guess if I was doing it, I would probably, I would get into Tasmota, and then I would want to make sure things worked with my device, and then I would flash minimal using Tasmota itself, and then I would flash WLED. So that's just me. So probably extra steps, but I want to kind of foolproof it. But I don't know what other device are you install. I just want to know what device are you going to put WLED on. Isn't that you just need one of the GPIO pins, right? You're still fighting with that floodlight, huh? Oh yeah, 558 is too big. For initial flash, you will need a smaller minimal flash first, Sean. So I appreciate you looking that up. So let's go ahead and we'll run through one. And like I say, I pulled this commit from Colin's repo on GitHub. And we'll go through. And I do have if I can remember the command, the Tuya donor, I think is what it was. If Nightbot is still awake. If not, I probably messed the command up. There it goes. So the Tuya donor if you haven't heard about this, it's pretty cool. I know I'm probably like, well, get to the flashing, get to the flash. Well, just hold on. We're getting there. You know how you have to do that other device to do the smart config? Well, we just use I want to say it was Marcus one. He may be. I think I saw his name in here. He did the bin file for this, and I just put it up on GitHub, and just flashed the bin file. There's no settings or anything for it. Just flash the bin file to like a Node MCU, Wemos D1 Mini, etc. Flash it to it and hook it up. And what it does, it constantly tries to hook to vtrust-flash. And you can watch it serially if you want. And it'll show you, hey, it's connected to vtrust flash. But also, if you flash it, you'll notice the LED will go solid as soon as vtrust flash. So it's kind of like now, I have a little Node MCU plugged into the Pi. I power it up. I go through the thing. I look over and I say, oh, look, Node MCU, the Wemos D1 Mini has got a solid blue light. I'm ready to go. And then I put my device in pairing and hit the button. So, and that's it. So, pretty cool thing. I'll try to leave that link down in the description if you forget it. But also, it was if you scroll back up in the chat, you'll see it about 6 or 7 messages up. So, that's what I'm using for there. And so we'll go back to doing this now. So we'll do start flash sh. Let me move this other window so y'all can see good. Now, I know this has changed since and we don't need this big window up anymore. We can put it real small. I'm flashing my little test switch. It's a Martin Jerry single pole switch. I use it for a lot of the TuyaConvert testing and bin files and stuff because I have the Tuya stock firmware. I can flash back to it and run it through the entire process of testing like different bin files and stuff. So, and it's easy to connect and recover via serial. Hey, what's up, Dave? So, the one thing that has changed, I know a lot of people saw this, is it's changed for the good thing. It will go through and it will check all the various ports. And it looks to make sure that DNS mask and MQTT and everything else will run. Because some people run them on different types of platforms and different services were getting in the way. Sometimes you'll see in there, it's like, hey, such and such is running. Do you want to kill it? Go ahead and do it. Say yes. Let it kill it. And that way it'll go through and it'll have that service running for you. So, and if the audio's too hot and I'm talking too loud, y'all holler at me. So I see my meter peaking every once in a while in red. That remind me I'm talking too loud. So let me do the 5-second hold. We should see. Okay, we get the 5-second hold. Yeah, I get loud sometimes. No, you with the Tuya donor you do not. It does the secondary device. Yeah, Tim, it'll go ahead that with that Node MCU or uh, Wemos or whatever. You can use a Sonoff Basic if you wanted to. Just any ESP chip with 1 meg flash memory or something. I think it's got compiled at 1 meg flash memory. Then just plug it in. Make sure it gets power. So I did notice this particular switch does take a little bit, and it's not a problem. It does work. I do see the periods will like get to the end and then wrap back around, and then finally it does go, and that's just normal. So yes, Jim, I think it's, and people if I remember right, you can do a git pull and pull it again. But if you really want, like, well, I want to go back to the old version, rename your TuyaConvert folder and then do a git clone again, and that'll pull down the latest copy. I really highly recommend that for everybody. You have the latest TuyaConvert on here because it does fix a potential issue. You can see it just exploited. It does fix a potential issue of leaving some flash that isn't erased in an older version that could cause an issue with Tasmodo getting in a boot loop. Yeah. So I'll show you here on mine. I don't repull the same repo. In case I need to go back to something really easy, I just rename the TuyaConvert folder and put a date after it, and that way I know what I was doing with it. So. Right, yeah. So now you can see in here, and we don't need this this camera anymore. Now you can see it automatically shows. It shows that it picked up. There's two firmware images that come with it. There's ESPRNA and there's Tasmodo 7003, the Wi-Fi manager one. And then you could just pick the one you want, and you could throw in multiple bin files in here. I don't know what the limit is on. Is it 10? And then it would go up to A, B, C, D. I don't know. I haven't thrown that many bin files in that folder. So I have my bin file, which is just number 2. And it says, hey, I'm going to flash it and say yes. And now it actually waits for it to accept the flash. Before it would just go ploop, and it would go, and you're like, well, did it go or not? And you're like, well, let me wait. Well, now you actually get it waits for it, and it waits for a confirmation, and you'll see successful. And it'll show you how long it took to do it and reboot, etc. And then it really is the true thing where it's flashing the device, yes or no. Because before they made that change, it had to flash another device. Your device wasn't finished. You had to hit no and then do a curl command to actually send over Tasmodo. And so I'm just going to do no. And just because I don't want that AP running anymore, I'll do stop flash, not start flash. And I should be able to pull up. I'm looking on the screen. I'm going to drag it over here once I log in. I'm going to devices. And now I can actually see, based on my latest activity, I have that Tasmodo 4822, which is going to be this plug. They're not plug, this Susan Sam plugs, is the Martin Jerry switch. What did we say? What did I say? I done forgot it. 282. I done forgot it already. 237. I was too many numbers in the brain. 10.10.1.237. And there we are. So the version I used with that bin file, that I did pull that from Colin's repo. And he has not, I would call it more like a super alpha. So I would not recommend anybody use it just yet because he makes changes a lot. It seems like he makes changes on his repo and then he'll push it into development and then he'll push it into master, which is a very I would say safe thing to do because people could potentially brick stuff. I would kind of hang out and stick with the master one of TuyaConvert itself, the master branch. So unless you just want to be on the edge and you can still recover stuff serial. So he had I was looking through, I forgot how I found it. It was looking through some of his commits. Where was it at? If you look in development on TuyaConvert, there was a commit in here along with, I'm sorry, what it was a pull request. He had his own pull request. Move this screen out the way. If I was to get a Pi to do this, what would be the one to get? I would just go ahead and, unless you're really dying to do it, a Pi 3B is going to be fine, and that's kind of what everybody has used with it. The Pi 4 is going to be way overkill for this. So, yeah. I say don't try experimental stuff on anything you can't open. He had a pull request in here, and he must have shown it closed. I'll see if I can find it and put the link in later. So, yeah, if you want to do let's see. I've put several different kits on there. If you look in the like tools and miscellaneous, and there's several different kits in here I put of like pies and pie kits. It's all up to you if you want to dig around, look in there. So it helps out a little bit too if you get anything out of there. Yeah, I know the Pi 4s have come down a good bit, and that's a very good point. And if you're going to spend the money anyway, unless you're just going to really use it just for that, I mean, I keep bumping the microphone. Raspberry Pi 4. Now, there's some of the starter kits. I don't know if you you got really a thing to say, hey, I'm going to get the 1 gig, 2 gig, or 4 gig one. But the Raspberry Pi 4 has really come, see, even the 2 gigs, $47. And I think the Pi 3B is $35 still. Yeah, and it comes back to that. We're like, hey, do I need one? What if you want to use it for something later? I mean, maybe you should have thought about getting 2 gig. I don't know. So, yeah, and that's a good point, Will. If you do run Proxmox and you have a wireless access point capable Wi-Fi adapter, you say that 10 times fast, you can use TuyaConvert on Proxmox. Dave, yeah. I flashed actually, which we're gonna get to that eventually. Actually, I flashed the 7.x version of soft AP is the term. It's a lot easier to say than what I just said, right? I can't remember what I said. Let's see. Let me find one of those down. I went through and I upgraded a lot of my stuff to. You can see there's Dave. I have all of these downlights installed, and I put them all on 7.004, I believe. And I think that's one. Let's see, 202. Just make sure I do have. Yeah, so I actually have 70004 on those. So, the downlight link. That's a good idea. I keep wanting to say Dino because my mom used to call me Dino, but as it'd be Dynotech, not Dinotech, right? I still have more in the box, Darren. Some more to install, and we're gonna do something with those. Help out. These are the Zemi Smart downlight. They are the. I want to say it was they have an option. There is a 6-inch and there's a 4-inch. I did the 4-inch, and the price has been kind of. Why does it keep jumping like that? Actually, I did a video on them, and they also, you can get them off of AliExpress. Let's see. We're gonna use, where's my Discord? You're trying to locate the TuyaConvert version. Just pull the latest. There's not really a version per se, I don't think, Patrick. If you're ever curious that you think, hey, I don't have the latest version, you can do like a move, or if you're not really familiar with Linux, use like WinSCP, rename that TuyaConvert folder, and just do a git clone again, and it'll pull the fresh copy down, and that way you'll know you have the latest, and you don't have to go dig through all the commits or anything. Here's we're gonna go to the AliExpress store for the ones that want to get them off AliExpress. And I gotta be able to see this again, so I can see what you guys are seeing, what I'm seeing. If you look under Google Home Control, or I can just do search this store. Let's see what they're showing up right now. There's a 3.5, there's a 6-inch, and there's a 4-inch, and they're showing on. They actually have a 14 watt in the 4-inch as well, so it's a little bright. I think I got the 10 watts. So, but so yeah, that's the AliExpress side of the Zemi Smart store. So, and I did do TuyaConvert on those, and I did a video way back on them. I think I must have bought like 14 of them at one time. And I have I think I just recently put 6 of them in the living room. I'll show you. Let me drag a picture over. Let's see. So there you can see there's 3 of them in here. And then I have on the other side of the room, I have another 3. And these are on 100% right now during the picture, but we don't run them at 100%. But we will for some events maybe during the day. So let's see. You can see kind of more of it. I'm switching the fan out, but that's kind of more of a direct shot. What we kind of lined them up with and everything. So. But that's those Zemi Smart downlights. They're pretty easy to install. So I want to change things up for the living room. They are RGB with a 4th channel of CW. Now I remember there was I want to see his name in Discord, Vexorg. Are those in the L? Yeah, those are 4-inch in the living room. Those are the 10 watt 4-inch that I had. I've got one here. Actually, I have one right here. So it's just if you can put them in like a recessed light if you want, or you can you can just like cut a 4-inch hole in the sheetrock, and then they're spring loaded, so you can hold them in the sheetrock. So. Yeah, Vexorg had the 14 watt ones. I believe those, correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, is the 6-inch 14 watts. Those had 5 channels where they had the RGB, cool white, and the warm white. These don't have the true warm white set of LEDs. They're just going to be the cool white. Now, I haven't had too many issues trying to use the color wheel and set them, but I don't, not at full brightness, is try to do your own warm white by mixing in a little RGB with the white. So, oh, so that if you do the 14 watts, you get the 5 channels then, right, Darren? I think that's what it is. See, only got the 10 watts. And believe me, the 10 watts, wow. It's like I fire up all 6 of those in that living room, and it's like, it looks like a damn football field in there. So even the dogs look around like, oh, I'm getting out of here. It's too damn bright. So, but we were looking to kind of spread things out. So talking about lighting, I know this was a big debate, and not debate of things, but we were in Discord on my bulb comparison video. And the LOHAS ones which I liked the best, they did not have the warm white channel. Well, not long after that, actually, I talked with LOHAS, and after some broken emails back and forth, which was still not bad, they actually sent a new design, and when you do get the bulb, in the 4-pack, which I did show in the video, which of course everybody makes my videos be old, are this the 4-pack, and wow, just earlier it was showing $36.99 plus a $6 coupon. They changed the price on these so much. So, but now when you order those, they are 5 channel, and they're a little easier to set up. And here's the bulb itself, and I will fix I can't fix the jitteriness in my hand being this close. But you can see the yellow LEDs and then the cool white LEDs. And then the little white squares in the middle are the RGBs for red, green, and blue. And then the little chip at the top, that's a type of LED driver. And I haven't figured out exactly how they're controlling that, but it's an SM. I had to Google it, and all I could find was a Google Translate page on it. But you can see we can see it right here, that TYWE2S board in there, and it does work with TuyaConvert. Like I say, these are brand new, and there was a couple of us as well that ordered these, and they're pretty bright. And comparing them by eye from the old LOHAS to the new LOHAS, they're fairly close. And even when I had the wife look at it and say, hey, what do you think is better? She thought the blue was a little bit brighter and the white was a little bit brighter, if I remember right, than on the new one. So it's pretty close, but I do want to do a comparison of, and I do want to do a comparison of the bulb with the old one versus new, kind of like I did in a comparison video. You're looking for a cool white? You're looking for just like a color temperature bulb, Darren? Because also LOHAS makes one that's just warm and bright white. And if you look in my I get too many damn windows. So if you're looking at bulb comparison video I do show that warm white and cool white LOHAS bulb. And there's two right now. The only thing is, I say it's not totally a bad thing, is you have to do ESP home with it, because they use 2 channels of warm white and 2 channels of cool white. And I haven't mapped that in doing it for a pull request into Tasmodo yet for that one particular bulb. And it does use that My92X1 driver. Do your Wi-Fi metrics show a lot of high latency reconnects for Tasmodo devices? I don't know. Let's take a look. And then we'll do I want to do a TuyaConvert on the LOHAS bulb, and I want to show you, don't let me forget, that's why I'm saying this. The new device procedures that Mike, I know I keep his thing, M. Ingram, if I'm saying his name right. He took some of the ideas that we had on one live stream, and then how I was doing it with a template, and then he worked it into the wiki, which is really good. No, it does not, Jonathan. That's the one thing I do not like about the bulb. There's no RX TX pads on it. And if you take those two screws out, though, you would have to uncrimp this and then crimp it back to put the wires back in there, because the wires are not long enough for you to pull this entire plate out of here. So yeah, if Michael Ingram, there you go, Will, thanks. I'm always butchering people's names. And then when everybody screws with me, I think, is they just want to go on Discord and change their avatar pictures. And so sometimes I remember their avatar pictures and with different things, and then they screw with me and change their pictures. So it's always great. Now everybody's gonna go change their pictures now because I said that. But so yeah, so I'm gonna we're gonna do that. Let's go to Unifi. Where are we at in Unifi? Let's see. You talking about one of these? I don't know if Mark is under the. Yeah, we're gonna do one. We're gonna show you one with TuyaConvert. So I'll show you how I figured out the pins on it and how cool it was. I forgot where's the Wi-Fi reconnects and stuff. Is it under statistics? On main dashboard, I'll paste in Discord. Main dashboard. All right, Sinister Nerd, appreciate it. How'd you change the icons? Oh, on the devices? Yeah, and I wish that would drive me nuts because I only can pick certain stuff. Most retries, insights. So you can tell I don't dig through a lot of this stuff a lot. Let's see. That's just going to pull up the same thing. And that window's chopping off. Let's minimize TuyaConvert. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm not sure where I've seen that retries before, and isn't it where you go to like the client history? And it's got all those charts and everything. But where's the charts? Yeah, it's telling me I should move to another channel now on this one. Go to Unifi main page. Yeah, see, I have all that turned on because I run this on my Ryzen box. And so I got all the history and stuff. Maybe I didn't turn the history back on. The extent, but I did a full import off of there. So all that settings should have came in. Now you're gonna have me digging around for this stuff. I see the retry rate, association failures, high TCP latency. See, I hadn't even played with any of this. Yep. I must have I play around with some of these widgets and stuff, and yeah, I'm getting up there in clients. Anomalies. I've had 561. I get high TCP latency. High Wi-Fi latency, high Wi-Fi retries. But see, most of my devices are gonna be. Looks like I'm getting a bunch of different high Wi-Fi. I'm not gonna comment, Stone. You're not. I'm not. You're not gonna pull me into the heat. You're not. So wait, Stone. Let's see. So I'm gonna flip off my chair. You want to talk about LEDs? I'm sure, Stone, you want to talk about LEDs, right? We got a whole box of LEDs, right? We can talk about that. I'll talk about how I don't have time to put them outside yet. How about that? And that's that. So we'll leave it at that. And see, I got a high Wi-Fi retries on this DigiSense. That's actually a little custom sketch. But yeah, now this is a camera, high Wi-Fi latency, but I don't have any of these issues. I never go digging in here. I don't have issues, and it says everything's good. Analog, if you can talk about analog. Yeah, I don't know. I never go digging there. I never have issues. I go through and I wonder if it tries to ping stuff at times and these devices are going to sleep. I wonder if that's some of the issues. I don't know. So I love the Unifi stuff. I tell you that. So let's go ahead and do this bulb. That's that new LOHAS bulb. And I want to show. Yeah, let me show you one thing before we even talk about that. Go do the LOHAS stuff. 10, 1. I noticed, like, I think this was the IP I used earlier. Oh, it's gonna be fine. I noticed sometimes when you start pinging some of these Tasmodo devices, or even just really not even Tasmodo, ESP devices, they'll start pinging and it'll be high pings, and then it's like the radio goes, oh, let me wake up, and it starts talking to ping and it levels out. And I thought that was kind of weird, the way some of these ESP devices work with when you pinging them. So I wonder if it really flips out the way Unifi is like, well, there's something wrong with it. So yeah, the experience rating. Yeah, I don't. Sometimes that's a joke. Because I've seen it say experience rating is bad to a device, and I'm like, no, it's working fine. So, so this is that brand new LOHAS out of the package. We're gonna see if we can brick it or TuyaConvert it or not or whatever. And let me go turn on without using the voice assistant and set off half of your stuff. Turn on the bench switch that I have real quick. Bench delta. All right. And you should probably see it blinking on the side. Let's see. There we go, solid. Let's see how long this one takes. And I'm probably going to piss off Patrick that can't get his working. I'm sorry. I think that's what it was. Patrick was saying he couldn't get his for the Nova Stella floods. Those things are bright, those Nova Stella floods. And if you're probably like, what are they talking about, Nova Stella? They found, I think it was R.L. Owens had found a little hack based off a coupon code that I found and was able to get them down to like, I want to say it was like $25 a piece or something like that. Nova Stella floods. And they did go on lightning deal, I want to say a week or two ago. It was right around Halloween because Steve-O had his showing. It was a cool picture in Discord of his house. And these suckers are bright. And now they're not on deal. They're right now, as of this time and now, is 89 plus a $20 coupon. So, but they can do them with TuyaConvert and they're bright. And while we were running our mouth, we can talk about holiday stuff, but we talk about those floods. Yeah, sorry, Mark. I'll stop talking about the floodlights. So while we were running our mouth, it did do the smart config and backed up the firmware and everything. And like I say, if you haven't seen this part, this is a alpha commit I pulled from GitHub that has the menu. And so hopefully it'll be folded into master soon. It does work fine, but I wouldn't try it on anything that you really dearly like in case it does brick it. So we'll do my 2. Yes. And like you say, like I showed before on that little switch, it does wait to show you that it does flash. And it will come back and if it shows successful and stuff. 500 watt halogen with a 10K lumen. Oh, wow. Yeah, so there you go. This device is flashed. And it truly now says you want to flash another. This would make sense because now the device is fully flashed with Tasmodo or ESPRNer or whatever firmware you threw in the folder. And then you want to flash another one. So we're going to say no, and we're going to stop flash so y'all don't come drive by and get on the Wi-Fi with that access point, right? And I'm going to go find my activity. There it is, 10.10.160. And I know you're probably like, well, how do you get on the Wi-Fi so fast? Well, I that latest mine I have, it has my Wi-Fi burned into it. Oops. And we'll toggle off this so it gets the right color. There's Patrick. Patrick's like, damn it, mine's just showing periods. All I can say is, I don't know if you're using a Pi or whatever. If you have any issues, I reflash the card and go put a new TuyaConvert on and everything, and then just make sure when it asks about those DNS and MQTT, just say, yeah, stop them. And I really haven't had any issues once you go through with it, and especially with that little donor mini thing, it works great. So, look, I done drug my whole window over here. I was watching of YouTube to see if YouTube was screwing up. We'll get this one up here. Get it back in here. Well, we're going to pull up the procedures. So Michael Ingram did a good job at this. If you have a new device and you don't know the pins and it's not on the Blackadder template repo and you're trying to figure out what's the GPIO pins, this has kind of been a culmination of the previous live stream, and I want to say it was Mark had this idea, and then I took it and went with the template and tried it, and I told Mike about it, and then he took it, making it even better. So it's pretty cool, and here's the link to it. So if you ever got a new device that's not in the Blackadder template, this is how you go figure it out. So to really cut to the chase is take this backlog command, and what this does is set option 0 is going to turn off where it saves the state of the relay being on. And the reason why we do that is just a safeguard where if you turn on one of the pins and it doesn't like it and it boot loops it for some reason or locks it up, well, the state won't return to that on state at reboot. And then set option 36 is if it keeps doing a bunch of consecutive reboots, it's going to do a reset and set the device back to factory defaults. So this is all good stuff to have on your console. And if I need to bring the screen up so you guys can see it. Looking weird with two windows. Boom. And then we don't need TuyaConvert anymore. There we go. So we're just going to paste that in. And you should get the set option 0 and set option 36 is on. So we'll go back to the new device procedures. Let's see. Be easier if I had this in a tab on this one. It wouldn't drag in for me. And you can go through, which is, I know the guy that did the video on that, is you can go through and go set all of those pins to relays, or you can cheat. Just take the template that he has right here in the wiki. Yeah, definitely, Patrick, start over and follow through the video and go through and start over. Make sure you reboot the Pi, etc., and then pull your fresh copy of TuyaConvert. And if I know some people don't even have another Pi, but get another little SD card. They're cheap, and then you can just pull your shut down Home Assistant if you're using it on a Pi, and then swap SD cards for TuyaConvert and bring it back. Or you can get another Pi. It's just that's up to you. Depends how much TuyaConvert you do. So if you can take that template, and I guess I won't. You can type in. You can assign templates like this on the command line in the console if you want, just to show you. And if you go to main menu, you'll see under configure other, you can see that template's now in there. But you'll notice to activate, and I've done this myself, so don't feel bad if you do this yourself as well, that you put in a template and then you forgot to hit activate. So just go and you can put that in there and hit activate, and it sets it as the module. Well, there's another way you can also do it. If you want to stay all console, you can do module 0. And that's going to set it as that template. And the light just came on in my side of my eye here. And now you'll notice we do get 8 relays to turn on and off. And I'll open up a notepad. Open that Notepad++. Yeah, and if you're running Proxmox, you got that way to do it as well. I'm sure Tollbringer will just ping them in Discord if you need help if you want to do it in if you're running Proxmox. It's super simple that way too as well. So basically, once you put that template in, you get all 8. And I want to show you kind of what that does. That template is, see, it's just setting a relay 1 through 7 on all the like mainstream pins. It's skipping like GPIO 0. It's skipping all these the RXTX. He's stuck with the mainstream pins that typically are where you're going to find things. So it throws out, you can imagine, probably if you've seen my video on that where I did that little setup, I've done it several times. It did a click and click and click and click, and I edited the hell out of it too. So this just saves so much time. Just throw the template in and call it a day. And then go through. We're talking about the new LOHAS bulb. It is the new LOHAS RGB cool white and warm white bulb. So I just go through and probably, let's see if I get, it's green. It may make me look weird, but let's turn that other camera back on. Y'all can see it a little bit. Let me see here. We'll do that. I popped the diffuser off. They're not that hard to pop off. Let's see if we can get the camera to show a little bit of the color without blowing out things. It's just gonna blow it out. You're not gonna be able to see the color. It's just way too bright because it's on full brightness. All right, we'll have to turn the camera way down to do it. But we know that relay 1, I just do 1 equals green. And then we go back, turn off the green. And I like to pop the diffuser off just so I can actually see the LEDs. Now you end up with spots in your vision, but it's just a trade-off there because some of the bulbs have dual channels of white and you may not notice that. So then there's the red. Of course, you can see the red on my face a little bit. So now we know that 2 is red. And we'll go back, turn off that one. And that one's actually warm white. 3 equals warm white. And then that one's blue. Equals blue. And then 5 is the cool white. So this one happened to be straight on with all the... Yeah. I will say if you're... And close your ears, Mark. If you're doing those Nova Stella spotlights, turn them away and point them towards the wall. Do not look at those things with your naked eye straight at the LEDs. You will see spots for a while, I can guarantee it. What was the joke today? They're saying your unborn kids would be able to see spots if you had them pointed at your boys. So that was interesting in Discord. Always fun. So that's it. We have everything. We have the 5 channels, and then what I do. Oh yeah. So what I do is go to the configure template. And this is where it can get kind of confusing. Let's see if I can put it behind me right there. Well, my fat head's going to cover it up. My big head. 7 3/8, right? So I know that relay 1 was green. And you have to put them in... Don't pick on the Canadians. Don't do that. They're going to run off. Y'all ran one guy off in Discord one time. I don't remember I forgot what that was about. I forgot how we were joking around. I think he took jokes too serious. And Will knows I pick on him a good bit. Tollbringer, but he finally picked. We talk on voice every once in a while. He finally picked on me back, so I had to. I appreciated that when he did. So let's see. So back to this. So I know green. That's going to you have to put them in RGB, cool white, then warm white. So what we're going to do for red is the first one. That's happened to be relay 2. You'll need to put that as PWM1. And then you need to do green is going to be, and y'all trying to distract me with the chat. I know it. Y'all being mean. The green is going to be PWM2. And then blue was relay 4. That's going to be PWM3. And then cool white was relay 5. So that's PWM4. And yeah, this bulb does not use that My92X1 driver. But you can bring the brightness down very, very low on these things. I'll be able to show that. And that's PWM5 was that one. And then for relay, did I mess it up? I sure did, didn't I? Relay 3 was supposed to be warm white. PWM5. So then the rest of them you set back to none. Like relay 6 and relay 7. Let's see if I really messed it up. And then you'll save it. And then you should, which I do tell people, once you do a bulb, because it's a very common question. They're like, hey, it only gives me cold and warm and bright and dark and brightness. That's normal for an RGB bulb on on Tasmodo on the GUI. If you want to test it out, do the color like 20,0,0, and what that is, it's going to be that it's a number from 0 to 255 for every single channel, RGB, cool white, warm white. And just walk through, and let me turn that off, that leather light, so y'all can see that. You can see that red LEDs, and then let's see if I can put this at an angle here without showing off my sexy legs. If we can balance it without it falling over. Damn it. Don't you know I'm on a live stream? You need to be able to do this. There we go. Then color 0, I'm doing 20 because of the lens, but I'll usually do like 255 if I'm testing it. And then you're going to see your red, your green, and then color 0, 20, 0. And then, yeah, the helping hands are down on the ground. There's your blue. There's your cool white. And there's your warm white. So very cool. And then once you do that, of course, then you could, bring it into Home Assistant using like set option 19 for auto discovery, or if you want to do it manually. If you want to do it manually, I have some sample configs there for the 5 color bulbs. So Digi's blurry live stream. It's not blurry, is it? Now it's screwing with me again. It's green, man. There it is. Yep. So if it did drop down to 144p on your resolution like we had way at the beginning, change your resolution back. YouTube was having issues. So that's pretty cool. I like the new device procedures. Now they do go on to show, because we just have a bulb, if you do have a if you didn't find everything at first, like we didn't find all the colors, there's a second template. Here's a second template with, notice that he has the first pins that got skipped. He has those configured. That way you can find those pins. Yeah, that's fine. James, I appreciate the trolling, because that way I don't have to continue to pick on myself. I have all of you guys that pick on me as well. So it's just a double then. And then on some devices, the ESP8285 that has GPIO 9 and 10, you have another template for those. And he goes on and talks about the same thing of setting up all the other unused pins if you're trying to find a button, and set them to switches. And we've shown that before, where you hold down the switch and then look for status 8. And he talks about all that through here. And then if you really don't want to read all this junk, and it even talks about how to put set option 0 back on. They even links this guy's video right here. I don't know if he's too good though. So I've heard he talks a lot. So 75 megabit on the toilet. Oh, there you go. Pretty good. 400 for 3030. I thought mine was bad, Mark. What I paid my ISP that rapes me every month with needing unlimited data. So, what else did we have? I know it got kind of late here already on us. I was planning on doing some Node Red with some long press stuff on a switch to toggle. We can do it real quick, and that'll be the last thing. You want to do that? We're going to do a long press on a Martin Jerry 3-way switch and have it turn on my down lights. It's going to toggle them. Yes, Leo, I am doing it. I just don't know when I'm gonna get to it. I'm be out next week. I'll be in Tennessee all next week. I don't know if anybody lives in Tennessee. Maybe we could meet up sometime. I'll be in the Pigeon Forge area. Um, and then I know Doc talked about it. It's supposed to. I know I'm confirmed. I know Doc is, and I am. And I know Rob was trying to find out the hookup was going to. We're actually going to. He talked about it on the stream today, so he spilled it there. We're going to China in February, so hopefully it will be the three of us, and we'll be able to show a lot of content and record things, and kind of probably it's the first time I've ever met. It would be meeting Doc. It's kind of funny. The first time I'm going to meet Doc will be in a foreign country, so. Yeah. Bob, actually look on. Maybe we can just have a whole big meetup, right? Let's see. I'll send this to you. Look on. Maybe that's what that's the big problem, right? They're just trying to get us all over there. I listed a few switches in here. There, like, I know there's this one. It's there's a 4-port. I want to say it was like Netgear or TP-Link. Yeah, the TP-Link 5-port. It's like right now it's showing like around $50. I know Amcrest makes one. But for networking gear, I try to stay. If you just want a cheap switch, now there are some other cheaper switches. There's the Amcrest. Amcrest makes some switches, but I don't know if I'm like there's this, and this one does PoE Plus, which is going to be their 802.3 AT. So yeah, war crime for smack. Yeah, they're gonna kidnap me for going to tearing up their camera. But I'm kind of like, hey, the people that make cameras should probably stick to making cameras. It's almost like I think Unifi should making networking gear and not cameras. And so I like to stick to actual networking gear. Yeah, those new LOHAS bulbs, you can't flash them with USB unless you destroy them or you find a way to uncrimp that in the bottom and crimp it back. So yeah, you can find some little like 4 or 5, which I call them 4-port because you're gonna need 1 port to connect to your other switch, and you can find some typical for around $45, $50. So, what were we doing? I went blank. Oh, we were doing the 3-way switch, right? We're gonna do that. Do it real quick. It's really simple, and I've been needing to do it. I'm probably not even gonna do it with no red. We're just gonna do it with a rule. So those 6 downlights, I set a group topic when I first put them up of this D-Light L room. Now the only issue I have with this is, and I've ran into this before, and I may go back and modify it. I just don't have the time to do it right quick. I'm needing to shut down here in a little bit. We've been on for an hour and 35. I'll show you the problem. How about that? I'll show you the problem, and then if we really get crazy, we'll go fix it. I gotta find the IP address to it. 1 second. L room. And yeah, Leo, I am doing that one on the. I want to do on my iFan. I have to swap that fan out. I haven't gone through and soldered the new capacitors and stuff just yet. 2, 3, 4. All right, so here's the my fan switch. All right, Bob, take it easy if you're jetting. This one's already set up switch mode. I don't know if I have any rules in here. This is just setting the LED power back and forth to do a red and green light. I don't think I have a rule 2. Yeah, I didn't need rule 2. We don't need that screen anymore. Need some water. Luckily I have some. Let's see if I missed anything. I have a couple of those switches I might give away. Hit me on Discord. Ah, okay, there you go. Just drop you a PM via Messenger. Oh, okay, on Facebook Messenger. Okay, I was thinking Discord. Yeah, if anybody does send me something on Facebook Messenger and I've not messaged you before, don't think I'm ignoring you. Don't think I'm ignoring you. And I just sometimes I don't use Facebook Messenger much. Yeah, it's next week. I think it is next week, the Thanksgiving week. Well, and I'll hit you up a message, and maybe we can meet up or something one day. I'll be there several days in the Pigeon Forge area, so we can do an impromptu meetup, right? So I'm gonna do a rule on switch 1. Let's make this a little bigger and get this other window out the way. Why is it doing that? Oh, because is the dark reader doing that? Yeah. The black console, it will drive you crazy. I don't think I did the web color. Hold up. I have a web color command. There we go. I can see it a little better. Yeah, I've funny. I've gone in there in the Facebook Messenger and it's like, hey, such and such wants to message you, and it was like 5-6 days ago, and I was like, oh, I hope they're not thinking I'm ignoring them. Rule 2 on switch 1 state equals 3. I'm gonna do that's the long press. Do a publish. And then remember that I had the group topic is delight underscore, it is case sensitive. So I'm gonna post to that /power toggle and on. And then we'll turn rule 2 on. Now the problem is, and I'm just gonna show you because I'm gonna publish command power toggle. And I'm gonna pull up my Home Assistant here. Let me scroll down where I can get to those lights. And I'll show you the problem that I run into doing it that way. Before I go back, the rule ninjas type. Do you install TuyaConvert in the same way as I used in APRI before? Same Git. Yeah. Same Git to pull that stuff down. So the problem is, let me scroll down a little bit more. My big head blocks it. You see, I have these 6 downlights, and we have just one of them turned on. It's actually in the back corner, and it's just like half brightness. Well, the problem is if you send a toggle with a long press, and I don't want to run off the other room and do that, and y'all would get bored and y'all would all leave, is I'm just going to send over kind of what the long press would do. So it sends over the toggle, but now you see what it did? It turned. So if I would just do this, and because we like independent control of those downlights, like I'm watching TV, I just want one light in the back, and that's it. Well, now it's inverted them. So now you get 6 that went off, and then 1 through 5 came on. So what I found is better to do with that is actually go in and do it with Node Red. And let me go drag Windows back over. Let's see. So I'll change the rule to say on switch 1 state equals 3, and I'll just do a publish of a custom topic, and we'll say like L room long, and you can put whatever you want in here as the payload. Rule 2 on switch 1 do publish L run long. Okay, and then it is on, and then we'll so then what I do with that is I've already made it's kind of like, yeah, I like doing the group topics. I'm trying to find my folder where I can show the, well, hell, let's just show you the actual true Home Assistant light group. It sets you up a light group. If you're doing multiple bulbs, sets you up a light group. And you can go find it right in the docs. And it's really simple to do. And it just makes one light out of like 5 or 6. And that way you can control them in unison. And yes, you could, Jim. And that's a very good idea. Is I could just set like the 2 backlights on me because they're kind of behind my head. And I could just say, backlights, and then I could have all the lights, etc. Just depends on how crazy you want to get with them. So once you set and that's how I did that. That's how I did this. The living room downlights right here. This one, and so that way, whenever you do turn them off, you can see in the background they all went off in unison. And they all came back on, and you can change the brightness of them. And if individually, if I wanted to, I could come in here and change this one to red. And, if I wanted to, and then and of course it does like a little pink looking color because one of them's a different color. Kind of cool. I thought they did that. But then when you do come and bump them again, well, then it resets. Oh, it doesn't actually. I got to do the white value. When you bump the color, it resets them all back to that same color. So it's pretty cool to have the light groups. So what I do with the light group on that is now go to Node Red. And we'll throw it in here on main. And I'll grab an MQTT. And y'all going to fuss me for scrolling. I'll grab an MQTT input. And I forgot already what I published to. LRoom, it is case sensitive. And so we'll put in the topic. And the payload doesn't matter because it's just going to be a 1. It's always going to be 1. So we don't have to look at the payload. So anytime you do the long press, it'll jump into here. And then we will do a call service of Home Assistant. Really simple. And the domain is going to be light. And we're going to do a toggle. And then it's going to be living room downlights. And that's it. Done. And I'll give it a good name. I'll be good. Living L room downlight group. Connect them up. That's it. Hit deploy. Boom. So now when we do a publish, let's see if I can get both on the screen here. That way y'all can see it, what happens in the background. Oop. Dragging the wrong screen around. Oh, hey, I appreciate it, Leo. Oh, yeah. I hope the Sonoff Basics did work out. I had some Sonoff Basics, and Leo was trying to buy some Sonoff Basics. I was clearing out the drawer, and I was like, dude, I'll just send them to you. I don't know what state they're in. Maybe you can put them together and fix them or whatever, and you can make something out of them. So I appreciate it. So now you can see the switches, and there's a delay. So now you can see the switches behind there. I'm just going to do a publish of 1, and you could use anything to publish this command. You could use the MQTT and Home Assistant, but basically I'm just trying to show you guys, instead of me when I would long press on it, you should see now, if I did deploy it, and now when that long press happens, Loud House and Mario Brothers Network. There you go. Interesting YouTube name. Appreciate the sub. So now you can see it published it. And so now when we long press, because my wife been getting on me to do this, she's like, we can't turn the downlights off with the wall. Didn't you just make a video about that? So we can control them with the wall now. And that's it. Pretty simple to do. That way you can basically kind of bring in a long press, and I haven't covered this, but you can do with a button. If you want to do a button configuration with Tasmodo, you can do it a short press, long press, and a double press. So you could get like 3 actions. The only downside to it is one of those actions has to be tied to the actual physical relay on that switch. You can't do like 3 MQTT actions that I know of. So, alrighty. I know we covered a lot, and we are what mark? We are at the 149 mark, and YouTube does weird stuff with replays after 2 hours. It like takes forever to process them. I know if you do after 2 hours. So, not there's any other questions. Exactly. It's just the same thing like a mechanic's car is not the best car either, because they don't feel like working on the car on their time home. Can we talk about your mobile UI? Yes. Yeah, that was, I know you were laughing about that. I actually went to Dynotech's house and met up with them on a deal on Saturday, and he does some really cool stuff with his mobile UI on Lovelace and stuff. It's like out of this world. So, off topic, you do anything special for 10,000 subs? Well, if I waited for 20,000 subs, probably because I don't follow all the good YouTube rules, it'd probably be in a nursing home by then. I don't know. I don't know if we'd do something for 10,000. I just don't have the time. Maybe we'll do something when I get back. So we'll figure out something. So it's pretty close. I don't think it was like 200, 300 there. So, all right. Well, house tour at 10K. Trying. It means that I would have to fix a lot of these half projects, right? So, Dodge Durango is a vehicle. Yes. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching, and y'all have a good night, and y'all take care. And if you got any other questions, jump up into Discord and come ask, and I'm sure someone will answer. If